Hello and welcome to the Pickup WNBA Podcast. I'm your host, Cathryn Naiker.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. What's up? What's good, everybody? Let's talk some W.
Well, we have an exciting one for you this week because Sandy Brondello was officially announced the coach of the Toronto Tempo, and we were invited to the press conference, and we got to go, and I got to ask Sandy a question, and it was all very exciting for us.
It was very exciting. Me and Cathryn, as we do, we bantered between a bunch of questions. I watched on Zoom, and I had a question loaded up. They didn't get to Zoom questions, but I did get to watch Cathryn sort of get ready and sit down before the presser and then wave to me, which was truly hilarious. And then
You
also
asked me to go back to wave to you, which was extra hilarious.
it was wonderful. And then Cathryn asked her question. It was a great question. And for people listening, they got to hear a question from Cathryn Naiker from the Pickup. So fun media moment for the both of us, and just really an electric vibe in general. It was big when we hired Monica Wright Rogers. Obviously, Serena Williams was massive for the Tempo, but there wasn't a presser for that. And yeah, Cathryn, why don't you kind of set the stage for us? What for listeners and fans, let's kind of let them in a little bit. What was it like when you show up? Is there a sign-in sheet? Kind of are you milling about? Is it lobby to lobby? What's the vibe?
Yeah, great question. First of all, it was really exciting to be invited to go. I mean, this is not our first press conference. We got to attend the Monica one via Zoom together, but this one we got to go to. And of course, we went to the initial team announcement where we interviewed Justin Trudeau. If you want to go back into the archives and listen to that. But yeah, so you go in and they give you a little wristband, and it's very professional. There's a few people that are dressed a little I'm too cool for this. I'm just gonna wear my Nikes and some merch, and then everyone else is kind of in suits, or blazer kind of look. And fortunately, I had one on too. And there's a little breakfast area, some coffee, and then you have a whole hour to set up, but no one really needs an hour to set up. Even the people who are filming it for television and they have big cameras and stuff, they need 5-10 minutes. So the rest of it is networking. And then the other really cool part before it started was that Teresa Rush, who is the president of the Tempo, was hanging out for a bit and chatting with all the media and stuff before the presser even started. I thought that was really cool. One thing, Freddie, you and I talked about when we did the preseason game here back in 2023, was just how accessible everyone is once you're there. And that seems to continue, at least for now. That was really, really cool, just how accessible and friendly everyone is.
Yeah, and there was even one of the questions, I think Sandy spoke to that, just being an ambassador, and I think so many WNBA personalities and players take that seriously. The growth of the game is directly tied to their their personalities and their marketability and their openness to media. And I think where a lot of really super popular men's leagues, you actually can almost see the reverse. You see this ornery attitude towards the media where there's almost this relationship of we don't need you, which is completely untrue, right? That's the media and podcasts, and it's that's the conduit to fandom. That's who sort of translates the game and the stories to the fans. Of course you can just watch the games and not partake in any media whatsoever. But that's generally not how things get built.
Mhm.
For it to be like a something that you care about, you understand, like you need that you need the stories and you need the people who are telling those stories. So it's really, I mean, just so many cool things about the W. And I think we're so privileged to have the tempo here and be able to witness something get built from the ground up. And
Mhm.
um here's just a thought. Do you think that part of the reason that there's so much setup time is that they just don't want people moving around or being annoying during the actual presser?
Oh, so it just gets it out of their system?
And everyone get here. We don't want anyone like, knocking on the door or strolling in late.
Is this an ADHD moment?
Like you show up at 10, you set your shit up, and you wait around because
Mhm.
tell you what you're not doing is you're not setting up a camera or like a selfie stick or whatever the hell during the actual presser.
Or tripping over a bunch of chairs?
Yes. Yeah.
That happened to, Michael. Shout out to Michael, who was
Shout out to
doing that.
Mike. I forgot about he tripped over a bunch of
That's why I
chairs.
said that. He when we were
I
interviewing
love
the
that so
well,
much.
not at the moment we were interviewing the prime minister, but, like, I guess it was after. Was it after? You were the one who was actually there. I heard about it afterwards, and I was like, "Thank God I wasn't there." I would have been, like, mortified.
I love how I feel like you'd be a tough person to for that to happen in front because if someone was like you're already mortified. So to have someone who's like mortified, like you, it's like it feels like you're also mortified for them. Oh my god, like that'd be so triggering for me. I need support in that moment. What like
I would give you support.
but if you were
Would
more
I?
if I was mortified and you were mortified, I'd be like, cool, I'm actually dead. Like
Oh,
I need someone to be like, it's okay, it's not a big deal.
yeah, okay, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? I need someone that
I'm
immediately
glad I
to
know this now, so when we do things together, I'll know.
like I need someone to downplay it big time and then like a day later be like, that was fucked. But in the
All
moment, be
right.
like, oh, it's all good.
Well, fortunately, today or yesterday, um, chatting with everyone and doing the presser with Sandy Brondello, nothing embarrassing happened, thank goodness.
Yeah, so obviously the presser is out there, people can watch it. What before we get to the content of the presser, like what was your vibe on like Sandy as a person?
Really nice. She came out really, really warm. She seemed genuinely excited to be here. We read afterwards it wasn't our insider insight that was given us to us during the presser, but she's now one of the top 3 highest paid coaches in the league now.
Yeah, her, Nate
So,
Tibbetts, and Becky Hammond.
that's a reason to smile as well.
Yeah, $1 million a year. $1 million a year is pretty cool.
And I don't even think that's Canadian dollars, so ayo.
Ooh, that's
Um
Aussie pounds, baby.
Actually, I think Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar are about the same, which I learned when I shipped the basketball. I digress. Um,
Wow, that story just keeps cooking. I love it.
but yeah, she seemed really nice, very genuine. Even after the press conference, there was like another like media scrum where like people like crowd around her more and ask her questions, and she did a lot of that afterwards as well. So yeah, she seems awesome.
I always appreciate, she talked about off the top being nervous, and
Hmm.
I really, really just appreciate that. Um, I feel like both, it's a performer in me that I think not only does it kind of get rid of your nerves because you put it out there, but also I feel like it honestly addresses the moment. And, nerves aren't always a negative thing. Like I really see nerves as like an energy thing and something that you can use. So, to me, a lot of times when you're nervous, what you really are is excited, and you're excited about a moment. So, it's a similar sensation to being nervous,
Mhm. Um,
Um, okay, so content. We, we can get to your question, but
mhm.
what what stood out to you about, question like what was a question that was asked, and an answer that kind of really stood out to you as a moment with Sandy?
Oh, that's good. Well, a few ones stood out. Um, One was, somebody asked what kind of coach she is,
I was
and
gonna
she
say
was
this.
like, "A damn good one."
Yeah, it was. I think it was Doug Smith.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, of the
Very,
Toronto
yeah.
Star. Just like, well, I can't remember if he phrased it like, "What type of coach are you?" or "What type of coach do you wanna be or plan to be?" But she was just like, "A good one," which was a great answer. Um, yeah, also too, she kept mentioning the Commonwealth, which was so funny. Like,
That was
I'm
hilarious.
from Australia." I'm sorry, I'll never do that again.
She's like, as
Uh,
a member of the Commonwealth, and we need to talk about this often, but we have majority American listeners who, if you don't know what that is, that's great because listen, the Commonwealth sucks. All right, it's like it's a left like hangover from from
I mean, it
English.
might be the reason we never become a 51st state.
Oh, there you go.
So it could help us, but yeah, it's just
Protect us, Lord Charles. But yeah, it's
we just stayed connected to the British crown,
yeah,
basically.
so essentially Britain's like, you're still ours in a way. And we have all these weird positions in our
You
government,
know,
like governor general, which is like
it's my
essentially,
dream to be governor
oh,
general.
it's so good. Yeah. So again, for American listeners, the governor general, like you sign off on all the bills and you do absolutely nothing. Like you basically are such a ceremonial head, and you're supposed to like be there on behalf of like the queen or the king or whatever, and like
Yeah, you
under no
represent the
circumstance
crown.
do you say no. Like you like it would be completely unheard of. You essentially are just like you're walking around like doing nothing.
It's on like a corporate org chart, you're above the prime minister and below the king.
Yeah.
And you get to do absolutely nothing. It's, like, so brilliant. But, anyway, so, but I think, like, the idea there was that she was trying to draw into some, like, kinship between her and Canada, and she talked about genuinely being really excited to be in Canada,
Hmm.
which, like, not to do too many NBA comparisons, but on the NBA side, being in Canada is always like this detriment or it's always this like hindrance. But here it was like immediately seen as an asset, which I really like. And I think that probably has a lot to do with just the international nature of women's basketball in general, that nobody's like afraid to play in a different country.
Mm,
And as well, it's like you get to be here during the summer, which is obviously a
yeah.
big deal compared to
Very
being
different. Yeah.
in
Than February.
Canada in the winter, because our summers are actually quite hot. So it's
Yeah.
just wild.
Toronto in the summer, Mississauga in the summer. It's a good time. The wind,
Mississauga in the summer.
the winter. Whoo! You know what
Yeah.
it's like, northern states, but yeah, well, a thing that really popped out to me as just an overall confidence thing was that Sandy, without being prompted, said two big brags, which I really, really love,
Mhm,
both as a stat nerd and as a person that wants a confident coach.
mhm,
And those two stat pieces were this: number one, I was going to ask this as a question. It was a question I thought would be interesting, but she commented on the fact that uh, she's the only coach to have won um, a title with two different franchises. Sorry, there's one other coach, but she's the only coach still in the league, and she has a chance to be the only coach ever to win titles with three different franchises. So she won with the Mercury, she won with the Liberty, and then if she wins with the Tempo, she'll have this really unique record that belongs to her and only her. And then the other part was that she mentioned, and I forgot this. I heard it so many times from Ruko and from Lobo, and just commentators in the W. But she's never missed the playoffs as a head coach,
Yeah, that's
which
wild.
which is incredible.
Yeah,
So
that is
those
a
two
very
brags, I was like,
impressive
this is
stat.
cool. This is cool. I like that.
Yeah, I have to agree. And also too, I think like, as the months unfold and we get into sure the expansion draft, but more importantly, the free agency, I'm so excited and curious to see what kind of role Sandy is going to have with bringing in free agents because almost everyone's a free agent. If you're not on a rookie contract, you're a free agent. Vast majority of players.
Mhm.
So it's not going to be a typical expansion team roster, or at least it has the potential not to be a typical expansion team roster. And that really, really excites me.
Yeah, two comments on that. One, I think I'm so interested to see what happens with this offseason because for those that followed the Golden State expansion, which she commented on as well, just like how well Golden State did as an expansion franchise. But yeah, so there's the part that there's just two teams coming in, right? We've talked about that.
Hmm.
But then Golden State, they got to pick essentially a player from every team. Like each team got to withhold like 6 players and say we're gonna protect these 6 players, right? If you're the Fever, it was like you can't touch Boston or Mitchell or Clark or whatever, like 3 other players. I don't even know if the numbers will be possible for that this year with the amount of free
True.
agents. So who are they? They're going to be holding on to like everyone gets to hold on to their rookies, I guess, because you can't tell an unrestricted free agent to.
Yeah, you can't core an unrestricted free
Yeah,
agent.
you can't because it's their choice. They get to go wherever they want to go. So that's very just as far as how they do that is going to be super fascinating. So we will see. And then I lost my train of thought, but there was another part of what you said that was really interesting to me about
Not about
the
the free agents and like
yeah.
who she could
Oh yes,
possibly
yes.
recruit. Yeah.
Yeah, so someone asked a question about her relationship with free agents and
Mm.
and mentioned Natasha Cloud, texting her and wishing her well. And Sandy, you saw the savvy here, right? And this is what
Hmm.
I liked. Like, it was just cool about her is that she comes out and she's like, I'm nervous, but then also she's like, hey, never miss the playoffs. Might set a record for coaching. So it's like you're super confident, but also
Once she's on, she's on.
yeah,
It's
right.
very that.
And this was a moment where she said, like, yeah, former players, current players, like I have great relationships with all my players. But she also like spelled it out and was very clear in saying, but I'm not allowed
To talk about that.
to text players and tell them to join the team. So it was a funny moment where she's like, listen, I appreciate that you're trying to highlight that I have good relationships with my players, but there's a thing called tampering, and
Hmm.
where everyone does tamper, but we part of tampering is you don't talk about tampering.
Yeah, yeah. Tampering within the Commonwealth should be different, though.
Oh, I like that. Governor General, baby. Tampering society.
Well, we should talk about the fact that I got to get my little voice in there and got to ask a question. Now, first of all, so for our listeners, like our Freddie's fun question, the reason why this is Freddie's question and not my question is because Freddie is the one between us who is good at coming up with questions. It's just how we work. I have other strengths, but Freddie is good at coming up with questions. He sent me like I want to say like 8 questions.
Mhm.
And then there was one where I felt like, "Oh yeah, this is good and I don't think anyone else is going to think of it." And that was to ask Sandy how she felt about Cheryl Reeve and Becky Hammond having like outspoken support for her.
Mhm.
And she talked about that a bit. And Freddie, I wanted to tell you, I didn't tell you this on the phone yesterday, but I sensed a slight, just the slightest bit of tension when I was asking this question. Like, it was almost like a, "Uh-oh, are you gonna ask me something that, like, is a little, like, emotional?" Like,
Mm,
it kinda teetered on that, and then she talked about how, like, it meant a lot to her and how much mutual respect there is there between them, but, like, it had this, like, the slightest bit of tension and then, like, sigh of relief. And I thought that was so, like, odd because it certainly wasn't what I was going for. Like, we're not here to be, like, controversial, like, people necessarily. We were just trying to think of something that somebody else wouldn't ask. And I thought it was a great one that you came up with, and I mean, she answered it well, and she was very kind and gracious about it, just the slightest bit. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's because 'cause I'm overly sensitive. I don't know if that's
mm.
because, like, um, it had it was a question that had to do with her emotions and feelings, and not just, like, her thoughts on, like, an actual thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and, it's really see, that's something I couldn't pick up in the room or, like, I was
Mhm.
in the room, so, like, that, this is why it's so good you were there. I think 2 things. 1, it's juicy, right? So we're talking about something that's a bit more current and intimate, and we're not saying, "What do you think about being in Canada? What do you think about being in a new franchise? What do you ba 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 ba?" Like, just sort of that. Like, if she was in a room, like, if she was, like, a running for president or something and someone was, like, peppering her with mock questions,
Mhm.
I'd say, like, 90% of the questions in that room fit into that mock category, and there
Mhm.
was a few, including ours, that did not fit into the category, they were different. And so I think maybe there was a bit of like a change up of a pitch there. And then I also wonder if there was a little bit of tension because the mere mention of other coaches, uh, it touched on something that no one touched on, which was she got fired, and it was very strange. And I
Yeah.
think part of part of Becky and part of Cheryl coming out is saying like, "What the fuck? This is so weird. Why would you fire Sandy Brondello? Well, that's not like." And, and Becky even elaborated more by saying, like, what's so good about Cheryl Reeve in the W is, like, if you have a good coach, like, it's all good. Like, don't mess
Mhm.
shit up, and I think that was pretty clear with the Liberty, and, like, the Liberty have even had some, like, backpedaling statements, and they're like, the things they've said have been so bizarre.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Sandy's performance as a coach was so high, and anyone that watched the WNBA this season was like, "Oh, the Liberty, like, John Quell was injured, and then John Quell got healthy, and Sabrina was injured, and Stewie was injured," and it was like they just never kind of, like, had any health alignment,
Mhm.
and I think that was the story of their season, like,
And Natasha Cloud was injured at one point too.
yeah, like, you
Yeah.
could say the same for the Fever too, like, if you're gonna, like,
Oh,
judge
yeah.
judge those 2 coaches, like, I think they both did, honestly, a great job maintaining any momentum with the
Mhm.
amount of injuries and, like, the timing of the injuries that they had as well, so, I think I wonder if that brought up some feelings with her, and she wasn't sure where you were going, like, I wonder if she was thinking that you
Yeah.
were
I
like
think that's what it was.
like, it could have been something where maybe she was wondering, like, "Is this pickup podcast, Cathryn Naiker gonna ask me if I'm mad at
Oh,
Liberty
yeah.
ownership?"
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she probably didn't know where it was gonna go, so there
'Cause it
was
it was
just
a
this,
coach
like,
camaraderie question, and she maybe
yeah.
didn't realize that right away.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's what it was. There's just this little bit of nervousness, and then she settled into it. And then I think too, like, even when I asked the question, I didn't even mention the Liberty, right? Like, I didn't say after you were fired or anything like that. I
Mhm.
just said Cheryl Reeve, spoke out in support, said one of these new teams is going to be gifted a championship level coach. Becky Hammond also supported you. What was it like to have that kind of support? Like, I didn't even mention the Liberty. and really softened it. Really, really softened the question and the landing. Just did it like the softest way possible, I felt.
By the way, hopefully, as we reach out to people and stuff, if we could ever get Sandy on the
Mhm.
pod, we'll be able to ask her this. But one of my questions was, did you get to say goodbye to Ellie? And if you did ask that, that would have been so
You
like
know what?
no one went
Uh,
for a joke question.
so someone did ask her about Ellie afterwards in the scrum.
What, oh,
I was
really?
I was
What did they
gonna
ask?
do it. I was gonna do it in the scrum, and then I heard her say, I think it was Shireen who asked her about Ellie and like what her what her mascot goals were for Toronto, seeing as how she left a franchise that has the best mascot ever.
That's me. But mine's an emotional goodbye. Mine's like, did you say
Yeah,
goodbye?
did Ellie give you an
Like,
emotional
because I
goodbye?
think
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's both a joke and also like, listen, you probably had a lot of friends in that organization, and like you knew who Ellie was. Like
Mhm, mhm.
you knew
You know the person inside Ellie.
the person inside, and she knows the person inside you, man.
Sandy Brondello is a costume.
She starts to cry.
Oh my god, that'd
She
be
starts to cry and she goes,
crazy.
"I am Ellie," and we're like, "Oh shit!"
Hi, thank you.
Uh,
If
yeah,
anybody is watching on YouTube, this is just what my dog did to my box of tissues. Just so you know,
and
this is what we sacrifice when we record the podcast.
if you're watching on YouTube, is a cute little family of raccoons that we have.
What
Photo
is this?
that we've never.
Listen, it's better than your passport photo.
Yeah, that was messed up. Well, I think we should probably move on, but definitely check out the press conference. And I think this is a good time too. I'm sure we've shouted him out on the podcast before, but our audio game is really really picked up, and we want to shout out Jason Lung, who he's been clipping for us, and he's audio engineer, and he actually started the podcast with us as well, but he's back and working with us, and putting in anytime you hear like a clip from a presser or
Our
uh, a-
game, our highlight.
anything unique, that's Jason doing his stuff. So shout out to Jason, and I know he's going to try and clip some of the good stuff from the presser into this. So shout out to Jason and his good work.
Yeah, absolutely. And also to like we just want to thank everybody who's been supporting the show, liking the show, subscribing, all of that good stuff. It has meant so much to us. Like it's literally because of you guys we even get to go to these press conferences and we get to arrive at this moment and be there for the team on, and be there like at the ground level. And it's really exciting for us to be able to do that with the W franchise. We started this in 2021, and here we are like 4 years later, like on the verge of a new team. So thank you everyone. And if you have the time, leave a positive review for us on Spotify or Apple. Like it really really helps the show grow, and we're hoping to bring in more and more people as we enter this coming season. We're hoping to get more industry access. We're hoping to have game access, all of that stuff. So the more you can do for us on that level, so appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very very much, everyone. And again, just those reviews and those like those little write-ups on Apple and Spotify are just massive. Like we're living in an algorithm world. We're living in an algorithm world. So if you pop on there and give us 5 stars, and you know just say a couple things about what you like about the show, that's massive. The algorithm overlords feed on that. So we really really appreciate you doing that, and obviously at the Pickup WNBA podcast on YouTube and Insta. But actually, as of this recording, Some fun stuff going on with Unrivaled.
Yeah,
There's something I don't know.
they announced their team lineups.
Yes. So we talked a lot about what season 2 for Unrivaled will look like. And yeah, this league is like totally like picking up steam. Like it was the first year was interesting, and they're really kind of keeping the ball rolling. So a couple things about there's a really good sort of primer article here from Sydney Henderson from USA Today, and she talks about just kind of Unrivaled season 2 rosters and kind of the how the league's working. So they similar to how they did the expansion draft, each team based on whether you made the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs last season, you get to hold on to a couple different players. So there will be some players returning to their respective teams, and other than that, there'll be kind of a things getting shaken up, and there was a draft. So there's a for our fantasy friends, there was a snake draft, which is kind of like if you did the worst, you get to pick the best kind of thing, and also like some big coaches, big names. Like Unrivaled really is absolutely bringing it. So if it's okay with you, Cathryn, I'll do a coach and team rundown.
Sure.
And then maybe we can just say which team we think is going to be the best.
Mhm.
I will say before I do that, what's interesting that Unrivaled has done this year, which makes so much sense to me, is they have a development pool. So for injuries, they have Haley Van Lith, Isaiah James, Haley Jones, Emily Angstler, Letitia Amihir, and Michaela Timpson ready to go. So if somebody gets injured, those development pool players will get to like kind of like hop into a team, because that was sort of a big deal last year with injuries, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Here we go. So let's start. Let's start from the top here. We're gonna go Breeze BC head coach Noel Quinn. So they got Paige Beckers, first time in the league. Rakea Jackson, Dominique Malonga. Wow, Paige and Dominic together is awesome. Ari McDonald, Kate Martin, and Cameron Brink. And then Hive BC, we have Rena Wakama. So Kelsey Mitchell and there's a star, by the way, if it's their first time in the league. So Kelsey Mitchell, first time in the league. Sonia Citron, Ezzy MacBeggar, Natisha Heidemann, Stania Rivers, Monique Billings. So this entire team, by the way, is brand new to the league. And then we got Laces BC, head coach Andrew Wade, Jackie Young, Brittany Sykes, Alyssa Thomas, Jordan Canada, Maddie Segrist, and Naz Hillman. Lunar Owls, head coach DJ Sackman. They got Skylar Diggins, Marina Mabry, Nafisa Collier, Rachel Bainham, Rebecca Allen, and Aaliyah Edwards. And
Oh.
it's Rebecca Allen, Rachel Bainham's first year in the league, by the way, and also true of Maddie Segrist and Naz Hillman for Laces
Oh,
BC.
and the whole Hive team, like literally that whole team.
Yeah, that whole team is new. So
Mhm.
and then you got Mist BC, head coach Zach Bryan, Alicia Gray, Brianna Stewart, Alana Smith, Veronica Burton, Arika Gubawale, and Lee Yuru. So Lee, Veronica, and Alana all new.
So
And
many names. Keep
so
going.
many. Yeah, I know. Phantom head coach Ronika Hodges, Kelsey Plum, Satu Sabali, Aaliyah Boston, Dana Evans, first time in the league, Natasha Cloud, and Kiki Iriafen, first time in the league as well. All the big rookies, by the way, are in the league, which is cool. Rose BC head coach Nola Henry, Chelsea Gray, Kalia Copper, Sug Sutton, first time in the league, Azari Stevens, Lexi Hull, Shakira Austin, Vinyl BC, head coach Teresa Weatherspoon, Courtney Williams, Ryan Howard, Dearica Hamby, Erica Wheeler, first time in the league, Ray Burrell, and Brittany Griner, and then it's the developmental pool. So, yeah, a lot of names at you, but just sort of first blush.
Well done.
Thank you. Um, First blush, Cathryn, what's your What team are you sort of looking at here where you're like, this team's great. I think they're gonna win.
Um, so great question. I'm actually looking at this first team, the Breeze BC, Paige Beckers, Rakia Jackson, Dominique Malonga, Ari McDonald, Kate Martin, Cameron Brink. What I really like about this team is that they have a lot of size.
Yep.
They're big, they're young, and they're fast. And I think they're going to have a lot of interesting combinations. And I think they're going to be really fun to watch. That was like the first thing that kind of like sparked my, kind of like caught my brain. And then,
Malonga and Brink, that's some shot blocking.
yeah, like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like they're going to have some crazy lineups that are going to be interesting and challenging for other teams, I think.
And also, I should say too, just as far as like watching like the strength of like the of women's basketball in the U.S. is Malonga also turned down playing internationally, so this is really big for her to
Right.
kind
This
of
is a big
stay
deal.
stateside and play ball.
I think in terms of like teams that I just like that I look at that I'm like, oh, this team's really stacked and they have a lot of veteran experience in a very like good way, obviously in a good way, but like in like, oh wow, that's gonna be a tough team, is the Lunar Owls. So Skylar Diggins, Marina Mabry, Nafisa Collier, is it Rachel Banham? Yeah, I think
Rachel
so.
Banham, yeah.
Rebecca Allen and Aaliyah Edwards, like, buddy, that's a lineup. Like, that's actually so crazy.
Yes.
Like those two teams, I'm
That
like,
team's tough.
damn.
That team is absolutely tough. I think the
Yeah.
team I like the most is the Phantom. So check this out: Kelsey Plum, Satu Sabali, Aaliyah Boston, Dana Evans, Natasha Cloud, Kiki Iriafen. Where's the weak link on that team? Like that team's
None.
tough. That team can score. That team can like Aaliyah Boston and
That
Kiki
team is
Iriafen.
tough. That team
Like
is
that's
tough.
just like as from a
Yeah.
post standpoint, like Satu, Aaliyah, and Kiki is wild. And then like
That team already wins for most technical fouls.
yeah, definitely. Um, and then yeah, I think those are the teams that stand out to me.
Yeah, all these other lineups are good, just those are the ones that kind of made my jaw drop a little more
Yeah.
than the others, that's all. But really, really excited for Unrivaled, and it's cool to see these different, like, combination of players together.
And so it kicks off January 5th, which is great for basketball fans that you don't have
Ooh,
to wait too
earlier
long.
than last year, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll obviously we'll be following the CBA, and yeah, it's well timed, right? Because I think like that means you get a lot of basketball before March Madness,
Mhm, mhm.
which is great because obviously March Madness, we'll be all in it. But
For sure.
before that, it'd be nice to have a bunch of ball.
Um, Freddie, I know we're going a little long, but before we go into your fun question, there's something I've
Mhm.
wanted to talk to you about.
Oh
And
no!
I've been saving it for
Oh
our
no!
podcast. No, it's fine. It's good. It's
Yes,
good.
I used
Nothing's
Old
bad.
Spice deodorant.
Wow. What? What's wrong with you?
I
Now
knew
I'm like, never mind. I don't now I'm like, I shouldn't even say the thing I was gonna say.
I'd throw you off.
That is so funny.
What
Um,
what
okay.
is it?
All right. So okay, so we here in Toronto just lost a World Series in baseball. It was very
Yeah,
epic. Went to 7 games. Shohei Ohtani, the star player of the Dodgers, his wife, Mamiko Tanaka, played basketball professionally in the
okay,
Women's Japan Basketball League.
okay,
She played from 2019 until 2023. And she was what I'm looking at on Google here, it says she's 5'11, that she was a forward, but I saw something earlier that said she was a center. So maybe she did a bit of both. But for whatever reason, I saw this and I thought of myself, and I'll tell you why. Because I never like I didn't really play basketball, but I did a bit when I was a kid. but I
Okay.
was never like a guard. And at
Right.
my height, like 5'10", you really need to be a guard. And when I saw that she was a 5'11" forward slash maybe center, I was like, oh my God, I could have played basketball in Japan.
Yes. Okay.
I could have been the Stephanie Dolson of Japan from 2005 to 2010. And I didn't know that path existed. Like, if I knew there was a world where I could play basketball professionally as a forward, I feel like that's something I could have pursued. I would have been huge in Japan.
Yeah. And instead, you're stuck here with me.
I'm stuck here. Isn't that nuts?
That's nuts. Yeah, you could have been a contender.
I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. Maybe Jason will find that audio. No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure. You already got a lot to do tonight, Jason. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, I thought about that this whole time, and I had to tell you.
That's okay. I'm so happy you communicated your deepest regrets.
Oh my God. No, now I regret telling you because I feel like it didn't land the way I wanted. It's fine.
No, it's listen. I've thought about my own dual paths a lot, and certainly not basketball, but me and my brothers curled growing up because we didn't grow up with a father, and we were in the Big Brothers Foundation. And my older brother Miguel, his big brother, was like belonged to like this like country club, and he got us like in a curling club. Like if you know what curling is, it's like you just slide around, you throw these like rocks and you sweep. It's a weird sort
It's
of
a bit of
parlor.
a wealthy person sport.
Sure is, yeah. And we were poor kids, and we got to play it, and we just went in there and trucked a bunch of rich kids. We punked, we dominated, man. We were out here fucking killing shit, and like they had like free pop and chips after, like in this like room, and we were just like pounding the pop and pounding the chips, like
As you should.
we were like beating the shit out of the kids in curling. And then after we were like, we need more chips. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah, you're like, and I'm gonna take all your food.
Yeah, we were poor kids. Like we were there to take,
Oh,
take
you guys!
names.
Now I feel like you guys should have been Canadian Olympians for
So
curling.
here's
Okay.
my path. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
a double FFQ, but here's my path. We're all Nicaraguan,
Mm-hmm.
so there's always been this possibility for like a Jamaican bobsled sitch.
Yeah.
4 brothers, we're Nicaraguan. If we could just like talk to the Nicaraguan delegate and be like, listen, we'll represent you at the Olympics, okay? We'll be the Nicaraguan curling team. We'll be the only Winter Olympics team from Nicaragua, and we'll curl,
Amazing.
right?
Yeah.
We'll do a documentary about the
Yeah.
Rivas boys curling, and probably get pumped, but like whatever. We'll eat a lot of chips. We'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just want to be there. And it's like it's about being there. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily about winning.
By
You
the
get to
way,
represent.
since we're here, I forget how she did it, but there's a woman who did like a half pipe. It's one of my favorite videos of all time. She did like a half pipe, half pipes, like where you sort of like do the jumps. You can do it with snowboard or skis, but you go up this like ramp back and forth, and you're doing tricks, right?
Okay, yeah.
So she somehow qualified, and she was like 20 years older than everybody else, and she didn't do any tricks. She just like sort of slowly went down.
What?
And it's one of the funniest
Is she
things I've ever.
Canadian? Like, who did
I don't
she?
know where she's from, but she sort of like met all the requirements, and she like basically made a mockery of the Olympics, and it was so funny. Like because like people are like doing like backflips and stuff, and she's like not even doing jumps, and she just has like a huge smile on her face the whole time, and I'm like, this woman is so great.
She's like the Australian break dancer.
Yeah, but like even no problematic parts. Just sort of everyone's like, you're great.
No, sure, but she was just, anyway. Okay. We should do the FFQ, yeah?
Yeah, we'll do a speedy FFQ because it was kind of an FFQ anyways.
Yeah.
So my FFQ this time is with sort of maybe some hopefully kind of positive news going on with the CBA, like it seems like they're at least talking. What, Cathryn, would you do to bring like the owners and the players together? Like, what's going to bring them together to have like a more positive relationship in these very, very tense times? You're dealing with very different people.
And just so we're clear, this isn't gay cruise.
This is not gay cruise because you're going to have a lot of white, straight owners there. Like you're bringing in the cool players of the WNBA to like the business corporate world, and you're Engelbert's basically like think about Engelbert and Collier, like they're like you're gonna be there trying to like introduce something that will bring them together. So
Okay, this is hard. What do you have? What do you got?
well, yeah, I mean I had a couple ideas earlier, but like one thing I think that would just like bring everyone together is just a night at a casino. Like
Oh, that's a good one.
everyone's just at a casino. They rent out a casino and they're just like messing around and gambling. And you could even do some stuff where like the owners, like you're doing it with the owners' money, and the owners are like sort of like everyone gets money and they're playing with the owners' money, and the owners are like the dealers, and like you know what
The
I mean? So
owners are the dealers.
no, but I mean like those like almost like think about like like elementary school where it's sort of like it's like a fair, and like
Mhm.
the gym teacher's in the dunk tank, and like that's the vibe where it's like
That should be the answer is owners in the dunk tank.
yeah, and
That's what it needs to be.
a figurative dunk tank,
No, I think Nafisa Collier needs every WNBA ownership group in a dunk tank. She doesn't even need to throw a ball. She just runs and pushes the button on every single one of them. That's what she needs.
I mean that's pretty good.
I don't know. And it doesn't bring people together though. Like an idea you passed to me earlier was Oprah. Do they sit down with Oprah? But the thing with Oprah, and I love Oprah by the way, is that she's not going to solve the problem. She's going to tell you where the problems exist.
And also, can she sit down with everybody? Probably not.
She's going to open the wounds and then let you sit with it.
Yeah.
She's not there to close them up. I do like a like some sort of a retreat though, but I can't fall back on gay cruise. What about a poker game?
Like a huge poker game? That's fun. That's fun.
It could be a huge or a tournament, a huge poker tournament.
Just want to say you could do that at the casino. But
Not yeah. I'm yes anding your idea. Ever heard of it? I'm just kidding. You're telling me to
wow.
yes and all the time.
I
I'm
love
yes
it.
anding.
I
You
love
didn't
your
even
yes
know.
ending. Your yes ending is you also being like, ever heard of it? I'm yes ending.
Because you didn't.
Shrimp.
um yeah, because I mean I don't know. I mean, these owners also, I assume they're all really into golf.
Mm-hmm.
They could have a golf day. It's all very Vegas oriented, isn't it?
A golf tournament is good because it's like sporty. There's something there.
And it's something like they might feel like they could be like even like remotely competitive with them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, golf is one. I'm trying to think.
Pie the owners in the face. No, but yeah, it can't just be humiliating the owners because they're not going to go for it. That's what we want, but that's not going to.
Just like a carnival gone wrong for the owners.
That's good. That's good. Put the owners on a Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel falls off the tracks. Rolls
Yeah,
off.
like they're on a roller coaster, gets stuck. They're sitting there for hours.
They're upside down. That's good stuff. Okay.
And then they're forced to
I got it.
They have to negotiate upside down. Oh God. Okay, now we're just getting in. Okay.
I have the
Okay.
idea. So we can shut it down with this. So you have
Shut
all
it
these
down.
billionaires doing these like space trips. So
Oh,
everyone gets to go
yeah.
on these space trips and they get to see Earth and like reflect. And you have this like owners and players, and they'll be like, they share this moment and they're like, wow, it's all so beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, pay us what you owe us. And then the
Wow.
owners will be like, oh my God, I'm so old. Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Well done. Okay. We'll end it there. Let us know if you have any other ideas.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up. We'd love to hear it. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there. Thank you everyone for listening and tuning in. Appreciate you. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Peace, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.